Good morning. I am higher vibrations and so are you. And it's been such an incredible couple of weeks. We've had so much happening. It's crazy. And I'm so excited to get into it. And I have a conversation with my brother Guardian. As a lot of you know, Guardian is someone who has been around us for a really long time. I don't know. I can't remember a moment of like any of this profound time for me when Guardian wasn't there. We've had some really amazing, deep, awesome conversations. If you don't know him, his channel is linked, or if it's not hyperlinked yet, I'll go fix that
Mhm.
after the show. Please find him at j.zoltan on YouTube here. So good to see you, Guardian. How are you today?
Oh, hello everyone, and happy New Year! Like I haven't seen you guys this year, so it's the end of January. But yeah, also a lot of stuff have been happening. We are going through some very turbulent energetics, like personally and also collectively. And yeah, I guess we probably won't talk before the year of the fire horse kicks in. Like we should probably definitely talk about that and like what kind of energies and opportunities it brings up. And
Yeah.
also, like, it's very interesting that, like, last year or the year that we're currently in, according to Chinese astrology, like, we're still in the year of I think, the wood snake, right? Which is like
I can't remember what
shedding,
the element is, honestly. I know it's the
I
snake.
think it's a wood snake, some kind of snake. But, anyways, like, we were in the energy of like shedding old skin and like leaving behind the old stuff that we were so used to.
Yeah.
And like the fire horse is this very intense energy that is like pushing forward regardless of blockages and boundaries and just moves forward with great speed and force. And like what I'm getting is like we can choose to like ride the wave because it's probably going to be very transformational for most of us. And like we can choose to go with it and like use the energy, this highly catalytic energy of the fire horse to manifest things that we want to see in our lives. And I always get this and been getting this, and I've been also talking about it since summer, that a lot of nature signs are coming in and like symbols that are like telling me that, hey, like the things that you wanted to manifest are now possible, or like we're in this super transformational time, and like put your focus on the things that you want to manifest, like know, have a very clear intent on what you want, and like move towards forward in that direction, basically, because now it is possible.
Yeah. Oh, well said too. It's interesting. I happened down a rabbit trail that led me to this, whole calendar thing. You know how some calendars are this way, another way, and you find out that if you go back in time and the way that they measure time calendar wise far enough, that you'll see everybody kind of meeting a consistency right before they kind of tried to Tower of Babel everybody with time. um, it's very fascinating is that some reckonings, the earlier way that the Chinese calendar was kept, it's actually the 3-3 portal this year that is the Chinese New Year. Some are looking at it the 17th of February, and
Hmm.
these older calendars are March 3rd, which is also a total lunar eclipse day. And there's just a lot that's on that day. And so I find that really interesting that there's a deviation of that. I didn't realize it. So I don't know. However you observe it, I'm totally have a party on the 3-3 portal. Well, it's just gonna be me and my kiddo, but there's gonna be cacao involved. And candles,
Cool.
probably candles. But yeah, what is that? Like, if you look at the fire horse, my first thought when I think of a fire horse is I think of a magical horse, like a unicorn kind of horse, and
Okay.
to me, it's just like real profound. And then if you go to the totems, the symbol of horse tells you that it's power. The counting coup would be members from another tribe would come and take another tribe's horses to show like they took their power, right? And so
Hmm.
and that's why they call it horsepower when it's in your car, right? And so if you understand what that means, and like the mightiness of the steed, and also the resilience, and the examples of the wild horse is probably more correctly aligned with what they're trying to tell you what the horse means, right? And that
Yeah, I
fire's
think,
part of it. Go ahead.
yeah, very highly catalytic energy, very transformational.
Yeah. Yeah, Rose Matter, it's really interesting. Usually we got all kinds of people in the chat. Good to see you. Thank you for your comment. We appreciate that. There's people watching.
Yeah, like did we connect to other platforms or?
Yeah, it's on. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
we're meeting an hour earlier than people are usually expect to see us. So sometimes they'll find it eventually. It's 111 right now, by the way. So
It's
did you
9/11
hear
here.
about this? Sorry, what was that?
Oh, it's 9/11 here.
Ooh, 911.
Yeah, like I also took a look in like what it means of like 9/11, and it's like also some kind of very potent manifestational number because like 9 plus 1 equals 11 again. So
Right.
it's very, very interesting stuff. And I've been seeing
Yeah.
it quite a lot in the past year. So
There's a lot to that number, a lot to it. There's also, if you look at historically speaking, a lot of really important events have happened on that date. Like it wasn't a mistake that the thing that happened on that date happened.
yep.
Yeah. So, um, we're currently still in the wake of the of Three Eye Atlas. Did you hear about this, Guardian? So
I absolutely had zero time to follow up on what's happening up in the sky, but can you fill us in? Like,
yeah, it's really cool. So what it
okay.
is that um uh Three Eye Atlas went through our solar system. In fact, it's still here. Apparently, I don't know if it's reached yet or is about to reach Jupiter at this time. However, what's really fascinating about it is as it traced through our cosmos, it left behind a debris field, like a boat through the ocean, leaving its trail, right? A
Mhm.
wake, and we're in that wake right now, and that wake is full of all kinds of space debris. So there's people all over the planet that are getting like meteorites. Like one lady had it land in her sink when she was doing her dishes. She turned away
Wow.
just in time too. you know, and so but that says something to important, that what Three Eye Atlas has come to bring us, which a lot of the NASA people, and I not that I follow them exactly, but are finally starting to open their lips a little bit more about the fact that there was a lot more to Three Eye Atlas than the forced narrative of it being a comet, which we already knew. But so knowing this was not actually a comet, what it's leaving behind was designed strategic placement of elements meant to assist us. And it's coming down. Like the meteor showers are pretty commonly reported when unexpected right now, not in a scheduled meteor shower kind of way.
No, it's very interesting. But how close did it come to us?
It was relatively close, but far enough away that they didn't actually come, and like it couldn't have landed, from
Hmm.
that distance. I think it was like 4 lunar distances, which is the distance between us and the moon, which is, pretty far away.
Yeah. Okay.
However, where it flew through, it left behind a wake where we're now in, because it's gone now. I mean, not gone, but it's really far away from us now. Yet we're now driving through the debris field it left behind for us.
Hmm.
It's just really cool. I think it's exciting.
Okay. So we are picking up some of its energy more directly then.
Right.
Hmm.
And right after that started to happen was when all the weather stuff started going on, and when so many people started to report okay, here's another one you might not have been aware of. A week ago, uh, almost a little over a week ago, the spike in the KP index was so high that they had to adjust the measurement the place where they can measure it. They used to keep it at 9. They rose it to 11 because it spiked to 10 for a whole hour.
No, there's 9/11 again. So
Yeah. Oh, hey. I didn't even notice that.
yeah. But what is that? What does that meter stand for? I haven't heard about it yet.
The KP index. So I'll actually bring
Yeah.
it up real quick. So what this is it's a measurement of the energetic interference, I guess is a way to put it. Here, let me take this pop this out so I can. So currently we're not in an incredible energy spike, but here's oops, here we go. This is what it is right now. And when the KP index increases, it's usually that we have some type of a solar, typically solar energy that's coming in that's interacting with us. When it raises up to 3 or above is when a lot of people will come and start to interact with me, talk to me. See how the measurement's at 9 right here? It goes up to 9. They increased it a week ago. They increased it to 11 to meet that huge spike that we're having. So right now we're at a 4. Each one of these bars, so like each bar here is 30-minute increments. This one's called the HP 30, and that's so it'll track it by the 30-minute line. But I'm going to show you the 10-day plot so you can see.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to say. Like to see a larger range. Oh, it's at 10. Okay.
Yeah, look at that one. I mean, that was this, and it was
That's like off the
really long
chart.
time. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and
They had to
when was
increase
this? What date was this?
the 20th of January, and it really lasted through the 22nd. Like it was still on the 22nd, but I felt it still.
Yeah, that was around the new moon.
That's right.
Okay. And also, like, so basically, the sun is causing this.
Yes.
Okay. Like we've been also experiencing a lot of electricity interference around here too. Some really weird shit has been happening with our electricity grid. Not sure about you guys, but yeah. If you finish up, I can explain like what we were experiencing like just a few days ago.
It was just so to add one last part. It's also got to do with our magnetosphere. So the magnetosphere is like the shield around Earth, and it is usually directly caused by quantities of incoming solar energy will break down the ionosphere. You'll see this example a lot of times. It looks like they usually have the example of Earth as a circle. One side is red, or one side is black, one side is white. Looks like an eye kind of. And as it breaks down, then it makes it more possible for the solar energy to come in. And then we got a large enough solar flare that we ended up having during that spike, we ended up having northern lights here. If there wasn't cloud coverage down south where I'm in Arkansas, like northern lights in the south again, it was really fantastic. And so, yeah, it was right around Martin Luther King Day is when it really started to hit. So you go ahead.
Really cool. Really cool. Yeah. I've been also feeling it like in my body of like coming and going in waves of like I'm feeling pretty good during the day, and all of a sudden during the midday or something, somewhere around there, I feel like holy shit, like I have to lay down. I can't sit or anything. And also like I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago. It may not necessarily been the date that you said because it was this week. Like we had some very strange stuff happening with our electricity grid and electronics in the house. It lasted like for 3 hours, like in the late afternoon. Like we stood in the dark by candlelight because nothing worked. So basically, it started with some fluctuation, and I never seen like anything like this before. Like you need like I think 220 volts to like come through in order to for electricity appliances to function properly. And I guess for some reason not enough I know voltage came through the conduits, so certain things stopped working. Other stuff that were like more low energy kind of worked, but not really. And there were certain appliances that behaved in a very strange way. So we ended up turning off everything because I didn't want to break or have anything break, basically. And also, one of our big LED panels up there just went just like it just like did this, and
What?
like it was out, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Wow.
Yeah, we need to change that because we barely have any lights in the kitchen right now. But I turned on the lights and it was like, just like went out like a big
Wow.
boom.
Well, that makes a lot of sense though, because the stress that's been on the electro grid of the planet due to this geomagnetic storm that we were in. That's a measurement of a geomagnetic storm, by the way. So if you get up
Hmm.
to, I think 5 is a G1, and then 6 is like a G2, and so on and so forth. We got up to 10. So I lost count. That was a big G.
Yeah, it was. And the thing is, like, we can also feel it in our bodies. Like, some people are more sensitive to it than others, but it's affecting us too. So, yeah, we
Oh,
need
yeah.
to take care of ourselves really well.
I found immediately I don't typically, there was a time in my life I'd have headaches all the time, but that was also when I was living a life that was not aligned and healthy. Like I was
Mhm.
eating and drinking things like Mountain Dew was one of my favorite drinks back then. That's just giving you guys an idea. I was very unhealthy, and um, so I would have headaches a lot, and it just was a regular thing. As soon as I changed the way that I eat, um, until occasionally I'll have headaches though when there's some big energy coming in, and yeah, I had such a migraine that I was barely able to correspond with people. I was supposed to be somewhere and do something, and I was like, I had to look at a bright screen to let them know that I wasn't going to be able to make it. But I had a migraine, and it turned out it was that we were having this KP index spike.
Mhm.
So we notice it in our bodies, is what I'm saying. We're also electric. We're mostly water and electricity, right? And so if
Yeah,
your electric
think of
panels and your go on.
no, no, I just want to say, like, just think of the how much the magnetic influence of the moon influences the water in our Earth, basically. Like, it creates tides, and it
Right,
also influences the body, the water in our body too. So,
right. And we're bodies of mostly water, right? Like 70 to 75% of us is water, depending on the
Mhm.
body type. Hey, it's 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be moving through. In fact, it's funny. I just had this communication just not very long ago, and they had brought up that many of us have forgotten that the reason that our bodies have increased in, like, where a lot of people are retaining water, and that's in order to more efficiently let that plasma move through us. So if you're like holding on to some water right now in your body, that don't feel weird. That's just what's going on for everybody to assist in this weird increase in energy that's happening.
Yeah, like our bodies are trying to do everything that they can to adjust to what is happening, I guess.
Right, right. And it's a, a lot of people have recently been talking about the more recent violet flame meditation that you did. I've had a
Hmm.
lot of people bring that up. More people are just recently finding it, just the past little bit. And I wanted to go into that kind of conversation for a minute, if you don't mind.
Okay,
Like,
like we can talk about anything you want. So,
what is the purpose, or what is a violet flame, and how does that work for helping a person?
Okay, so the violet flame is a high vibrational energy. It has its own consciousness as well. And it's basically there to assist us in transmuting density into high vibrational energy. And it's a very user friendly, energetic tool that anyone can use, basically. It has been a secret for many, many thousands of years, but I think like in the past 100 years or so, it has been like publicly available, like it's publicly available knowledge as well. And it's very easy to use. There are a lot of meditations online that you can tune into. And you can also, after you have gotten used to the energies of the violet flame, you can also create your own meditation if you want to. But in general, it is there to transform density into high vibrational energies. So everything that is stuck, blockages, dense energies in your system, maybe things that you picked up from other people, or you had some very nasty experiences during the day, or traumas, or whatever your body and energetic field is storing inside of itself. Like you can transform that, you can break it up, transmute it into light energy. In some cases, those stuck energies may leave your system. In other cases, it may be transformed and like reintegrated in a balanced way.
Right.
And it can assist you with basically creating a holistic healing in your body. Like it's healing you energetically, but also physically as well. Like whenever one of our family members are sick, like I use it to like quickly like sprint through the phases of that specific illness. So I know like you get through a specific sickness in like 1 or 2 days. So instead of
Yeah.
being in bed for 2 weeks. There's quite a bit of difference there.
Right.
Like it doesn't mean that you're not going to go through it. It just like it's very fast paced and easy.
Right. I found that to be true too, since I actually never used it. I remember when the first time I followed one of your violet flame meditations, which in my world you're famous for them.
Oh, thank
You
you.
just you tap in so well to it. I mean, it's amazing. My biggest hang up was that the color of the flame would change at the beginning of the meditation. It would change around, and I found myself trying to force it to turn back to violet. What if
Mhm.
someone's having that happen? What would you suggest?
Well, it depends. Like, it's completely normal if the hue or the color changes because it's always adjusting to what you need at that moment.
Yeah.
Also, like the way it flows and it behaves or what shapes it takes. Also, it's basically adjusting to what you need. So, but in general, I would try to keep it in the violet spectrum, especially in the beginning. And after you have went through the cleansing process, it most likely will change into something else. Maybe it will completely subside and like bring in very high intensity white light and like integrate that into your system. I had quite a few times, I think also in our live meditations, that it turned into like a golden light and like it started to integrate that golden fiery light in our bodies. Like it can change and shift because it has its own consciousness. It knows what it's doing, it knows what your body and your entire being needs at that specific time. So it's not something you can, I don't know, like misuse or do something wrong with it because it has its own awareness, its own consciousness, and you cannot force it or make it to do anything. Like the only thing that you can do is like have a clear intent for like healing, for transformation, and let it do its thing basically. Because, oh, yes, and also it's a very highly catalytic energy, so it's very transformational. So if you haven't really done anything on the sense of like healing work or like working through your traumas, like it
Yeah.
may bring stuff up to the surface because it's there to transform your density into high vibe energies. And in order for you to be more high vibrational, you need to like work through those traumas and blockages. It's very similar to when you're working for the first time with like heart energy and like opening the gateway of the heart
Yeah.
and like a lot of uncomfortable memories and energies come to the surface, usually things that you've been avoiding, and they were like keeping your heart closed and like stuck and like confined. Like those things come to the surface for you to work with them. You're
Right.
not there to, I don't like to cause you pain or
Right.
distress or anything. Like they come up because like you need to work on that right now.
Yeah. Exactly. It's whatever it is you need to heal. And I really love that you said that because, um, like a lot of times people go into something with intention, uh, but their intention sometimes feels kind of like a shopping list or a list of demands, like we all do. Like you show up to a healing and I want this and this and this, or you're showing up to any type of thing. You have your own plans and spirit has their plans, and so what needs to be healed, you can begin with that intention, and then what needs to be healed will begin the process of healing just naturally, right?
Hmm.
And the same with the color, like you were saying later on, I found once you told me that I felt so much better that, like, because I hadn't really sat and meditated, not like that. My meditations were much different than they are now at that time in my life. And I found that, um, not forcing it to be something that it didn't want to be brought forward exactly what I needed to have at that time.
Yeah, like in the beginning, when you start to work with it, at least in my case, like it was very subtle. I wasn't able to like lit my entire being on fire, or I don't know how to call it.
Mhm.
It was more like I was trying to like visualize and manifest the violet flame, and
Yeah.
it was more or less like when you like spray alcohol on your arm or something and like light it on fire, like it's this shimmering thing happening over your body. And that was the first day. The second day it was much more potent, and like when it really started to kick in, it was like the third or fourth day or so.
Yeah.
But I think like if you do it with other people or someone is like guiding you through the process, it may happen much quicker, I think. And also that was in 2013, and since then a lot has changed energetically, so I guess it's possible to like kick in full gear violet flame much quicker right
Yeah.
now.
I find that to be true too. I'd like to highlight a comment. Joyce says, I've been using Guardian's Purple Healing Meditations from his work he was doing before Christmas. It really helped me, and I have been recommending it to other people to help them. Thank you for
Oh, thank you.
recommending. Yeah, that's really, I appreciate that. Because there so many people can get benefit can receive this great benefit from this process, that why wouldn't someone want to try it at the very least? And there's nothing to sell here. Guardian does it for free. He goes up on his YouTube channel and live meditates live. That's a brave thing to do. I find it to be very difficult to go live and meditate. It's so much easier doing a Zoom meeting when you're not being put on YouTube. But and you do it pretty consistently. Like
I'm
how
not
often?
sure how much time I will have this year, but I will definitely do sometimes.
Yeah,
Especially when I'm guided to like do something like we did the Violet Flame meditation marathon. I think like we did the Violet Flame meditation for 5 days in a row.
yeah,
So it was very interesting and very cool. Like it one built on the other towards Friday, so it was very interesting. I was
yeah.
very tired by Friday, but still we did it.
Right. And in the middle somewhere, we even did a Tehute channeling session.
I'm not sure if it was that week, but
It was
possibly.
right next to it. If it wasn't, it was
Mhm.
right next to it. Joyce says, I miss the sessions. And the cool thing about these meditations, they're also timeless. You can go back and do a meditation that you like. I went back and did a meditation from like 2022, not very long ago. I just had it crossed my path again, and I take those types of coincidences as a nod from the universe, and I usually try to embrace those moments. And I did that meditation, and man, it was so profound. And it doesn't matter when it was done, it still works. It's consistently. So, who is Saint Germain?
I'm not an expert on it, so don't ask me.
Okay,
I've seen him once or twice during the Violet Flame meditations, but that's about it.
right. There's some fun stuff that's been coming up lately. I'm not even sure what it really is, but it's got to do with that. But we'll go there some other time. Um, it's really fascinating. Is that, oh, you know what? Are we going to be doing a channeling session this month, or is that going to be something that we're going to want to talk about privately?
I mean, we could. I mean, I don't think we will have time in January, but in
Oh, I
February.
meant I meant
February.
February. I'm already in
Yeah.
February.
Okay. Yeah, we can do one, but we can probably talk about it privately. Not sure when would it be.
Okay. Well, I just want to give people an idea of what it is for those that, because I know that people have been asking about something like this, is that
Hmm.
it's not done on YouTube. It's not streamed on Facebook. It's in a private Zoom meeting, but there's no like charge associated with it typically. It's just show up, and you can ask questions. Everybody gets a chance. Guardian goes into his channeling state, and he connects to his guides. And I always love hearing about the way that they live in the world of these. They're Syrian, aren't they?
Yeah, they're associated with the energy of Sirius.
Can I ask some questions about them? Is that something that you want to talk about today?
I mean, we can, yeah, if you want
Do you
to.
have anything in mind for today's topic? I'm just like,
No, I like mostly wanted to talk about the fire horse energies coming in, like, and not sure how to prepare for it other than like trying to be more grounded and down to earth and like being very present. But yeah, a lot of turbulent energies are on the horizon for us.
right.
And we need to like find a way to make it work in a favorable way because I think and I believe rather that they are here to assist us and like pushing us forward into more of who we are and assisting us to create the reality that we always wanted to create, even though it's sometimes uncomfortable because like we have to move through the old stuff that we've been so used to, even if it's not working anymore, but we're damn still used to it and it's comfortable. And
Right.
when I did the meditation, the song from Pink Floyd came into my mind, like comfortably numb.
Yeah, I
And
know
I
that's
think there's plenty of people who have become comfortably numb in their situation, and like this energy is pushing us out of our comfort zone.
right. Yeah. And I feel like that so much so that we don't even realize that we are half the time until, like, because you're numb. How would you know that you're numb if you don't feel it? Like,
Yeah.
and it's been part of programming early on. Like around the age of 7 is when most people slowly start to, I don't know what you call it. They call it pruning, but in the psychological world. But that's when the pruning phase occurs in the child. That's usually when imagination and magic goes away. You know, and it's not surprising that's aligned around the time that's when, no matter what the situation, most people are putting that child in school by that point. You know what I mean? And if it's a sustained magic and imagination, then that child finds ostracization and mocking and different types of social constructs to embarrass them into fitting the norm, right?
Yeah, like if you think about it, like the entire school system and like society in general is like encouraging you to be equally mediocre as everyone else.
I like that. It's true.
Yeah. And if you're excelling on certain parts of life, then that's like not favorable, or
Yeah.
people don't look favorably on you, like you're the odd one who is like excelling or being more successful than others, and they don't like it
Yeah.
because it's different.
I noticed that a lot in my life, actually. I live in the Bible Belt now. And so, like, it's funny. People know who I am. I think it's because they sent me one of those clappers, like cut from YouTube, and
Hmm.
it got delivered to the wrong door, but it still found its way to my house. Even though it said higher vibrations, it didn't say my name.
Oh, so now everyone knows in the neighborhood.
Yeah, now everybody knows. But I find that to be really a awesome thing. It's just that it's you can see the difference, and as a parent, you definitely want your child to have the opportunity in a social setting that they want to have. At the same time, to guide them in order to guide them to be their true self and to not, like bend is a
Hmm.
very precarious line to walk, isn't it?
Yeah, still figuring that out too. So
Yeah. Yeah, you have a little one also.
yeah, like she started school this year, so
Oh my
she's in
goodness.
zero class right now. Like she's just 6 years old.
Oh
But
my
so far, so good. We managed to attract a pretty damn cool community and teachers too. So, so far, so good.
good. It's
We have,
fascinating. I wonder how much different it is in Romania compared to that's where you are, right?
yeah, probably very different.
Yeah, I would suspect so. you know, I in the book that I like to follow regarding the different totems that tells you the things about the animals that you're not gonna.
Oh, it's invisible. Okay.
Well, now it's mirrored. I don't know how to turn the mirroring off on this.
Yeah, I also tried, and I don't think there's an option for it. So,
uh, well, I've seen people go live and on their phones and been like, "How do I turn the mirroring off?" But um, it goes and when it talks about the horse, it goes to through and
no,
talks to a variety of. Oh wait, you did it.
I just did it. There's a new option for it. So, go into the gear, and the first tab is video, and it's the last option. It's like a little button that you can turn on and off.
I don't have it.
I
I
just
don't have.
go on the gear icon,
Yeah,
and the first option is the
I don't have.
video.
I don't
And
have a gear icon though. I just have a dot dot dot.
oh, you're on your phone.
No, I'm on the computer.
Oh,
Huh.
oh well.
Well, I'm happy you figured it out. Good job.
Okay,
I
so back to
might have to
horses.
do it before I come in because I'm the host or something.
Okay, so the host has less options than a guest. I guess.
I know it's so confusing. I'm always lagging too, even though I'm the one that it's streaming from. Um, you know, there's something that a lot of people are talking about the horse, the year of the horse, and I kind of wanted to touch on this, if that's all right. Is that um,
Sure.
there's so much reference to like the four horsemen, right? There's so much reference to these different things. Yeah, I don't have that. Oh wait, no, I do. There it is. I see it. Okay, I'll mess with around with it a little bit. Is that if you go and look in the medicine book, the one that I follow, the totems, it does
Hmm.
talk about the four horses, but they're not like scary. They're not bad. They're not, bringing with them plague or anything like that. The black stallion is from the void where answers lie. And the darkness of the void is where you begin, just as you do in the womb. The yellow stallion is the one that comes from the east, where illumination lives. And you can find answers there and learn to teach. The red stallion approached him then, rearing playfully. He told Dreamwalker of the joys of balancing work and heavy medicine with the joyful experience of play. So the red horse is the horse of play. It's 144. And then at the end of his walk, he met this person in this story, the dream walker. A dream walker is someone in astral. um,
Hmm.
this is when he talked to White Stallion. And White Stallion was the message carrier. He was uh, Horus. He was Hermes. He was Thoth, right? And so it's really fascinating if you take away the fear from these stories that we're told, take away the stuff that they added. Because, and here's another point, is the Bible references, that's what everybody's talking about, the four horsemen, right? The Bible references 365 times where it says not to be afraid. Do not fear. Do not be afraid. And woven within those limits, there's also a whole bunch of stuff that someone clearly put in there to tell you to be afraid. And so, but they didn't take away the 365 times that they said don't be afraid and to not be in fear.
Conflicting information.
Mm-hmm. And so the point here is that, if you would for a moment suspend that concept, that fear narrative regarding the four horsemen, the horse being something that brings plague and death and bad things, and instead to see it perhaps as the gifts that they are, the power that it is, the beauty. And I, encourage all of you to do your own research, check it out. There's a whole bunch to read about this. I only just highlighted like the cliff notes. There's so much to tell, and the horses are there to show us the four corners.
Mm-hmm. Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Like just in general, like I know the four horsemen are like associated with unpleasant stuff, but if you like take that away, basically they bring change.
Yeah.
So they bring transformation. So
Right.
but also like we're not on the same timeline when that was written. So also think of that too.
Oh, clearly. In fact, does it feel like we just shifted in their timeline? Like it feels like we jumped in their timeline like yesterday. Yesterday it's when it was really strong. I don't know if you
I don't know.
noticed it.
We're constantly doing that.
Yeah, you get used to it, right?
Yeah, I'm not even paying attention anymore to these things.
Yeah. It just is some of the stuff that's coming in right now. I try to pay attention so I can there's so many people who are going through these ascension symptoms with us that are just barely figuring out what's going on, and not even sure what it is that their body's doing, Oh, my friend Brooke is here. Hello, Brooke. I haven't seen Brooke in forever. I'm happy you found us. Back when I was called
Welcome.
Pammy. What else do you would be important to consider regarding the year of the horse? I know there was some more we kind of wanted to cover.
I think I mostly covered everything. Like we're just entering that specific energy. But in general, like I feel like I think I also already said that it's going to be like speeding things up. And it's like giving us the opportunity to do a lot in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
So, especially that it's a fiery energy, like that's very transformational, very potent, and it moves quickly, and it can be intense as well. So,
Right.
so we can choose to use that energy to our benefit to create things that we want to create. And I guess we have to learn to balance that out so we don't burn ourselves out because
Yeah.
it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Well said. Right. And how can we best help ourselves? Like, if someone is coming out of, or just now coming to you, let's just put it this way, because I feel like that I know you have a lot of wisdom to share. You've helped us a lot throughout the years. Is like someone who's just waking up, perhaps had been doing the typical American lifestyle, which the typical American lifestyle, by the way, includes at least one stop to fast food every day. That's a typical, or average life. Having never turned off devices, constantly connected to Wi-Fi, so on and so forth. And now they're starting to have a spiritual awakening and perhaps a world a 3D crisis, what would be the first thing to address? Like everybody's a little bit different, I realize, but like, what would be the first thing that would help a person? That would
Yeah,
be
like try to stay in quiet, I guess, and like try to stay alone without any distractions would be great.
yeah,
Like after that, yeah, just feel like what that is like. I know like there are people who have never done that. They constantly have something going in the background, or they feel the need to distract themselves with something. So try to live without that, or at least like 1 hour each day,
yeah,
and clean out your body. Try to keep a mental hygiene as well, and like yeah, like go out in nature. I'm not sure. I think we talked about this with you. Like just try to go to a neutral place, which is nature, and just feel who you are without all the distractions and all the noise, and just start to get to know yourself better. It will really help you in the long run. But yeah, just trying to stay alone, silent with yourself, it would be a great start.
yeah. Yeah, I remember doing that for the first time. Like I didn't even realize it that because we're empaths. What's an empath? Basically, it's a sponge. It's an emotion sponge, right? And we sponge in, we collect, we draw in all of the energy around us all of the time, and often don't even realize that we're doing it, to the point that most of us don't even know what it's like to be on our own energy, what our own energy feels like. And I did find that it took 24 hours. It took that long to begin to start to really realize what I was feeling, I guess.
Yeah,
Anyway,
because like all that gunk like needs to leave your system. It's like a
yeah,
detox.
yeah. And then my body learned that when we got to a certain line, that my body would show me a big sigh. It was really crazy. Like, so what I would do is I would leave where I was at and I would go into nature. And there was a line, like you could feel it, that we left behind the signal. Like all of a sudden, there, as soon as that signal turned off, your whole body just went,
Oh, finally.
yeah, you could feel it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why like living in a more peaceful place can be super beneficial. I know like not everyone can do it. Like I lived in big city for almost 10 years, and it has been very difficult towards the end of those 10 years when I became even more sensitive.
yeah.
But thank God we moved out. So
Yeah, you
now
were
I'm
in like an
super
apartment block,
spoiled.
right?
Where? I'm sorry.
You were in an apartment block at that time too, weren't
Yeah, like there were like 100 apartments around us. A lot of people. You couldn't even see the sky, and I was wow. I was not built for that. So
you? Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of density.
yeah, like it's especially if you look out the window and you can't even see the sky. Like that's so
Yeah.
freaking depressing. So
Yeah.
everywhere it's like concrete. You don't see anything green, and I was like this is unlivable.
Right. How did you ground when you didn't have nature nearby back then?
I don't really have really good advice. Like I don't try to use the movement of air,
The
the
wind?
wind. I don't know. Even if you like go out and like find a bit of soil or something, like when you're like in such a densely populated area, it doesn't like it's not the same when you're outside somewhere, like connecting with soil or plants, because like there's such a noise density around you that even nature is very much influenced by it. So
Yeah.
like try to get out of there. Like
Yeah.
we got really tired of it, and thank God we moved out. So now I'm super spoiled. Like we live very close to nature. Like where I live, it's not as densely populated. Like I don't like 20, 30, or even 50 meters to the next neighbor in all directions, or even more. And a house down, like 100 meters down, is like fields and forests. So I'm spoiled, real. So
Yeah, that's
I'm really
utopia.
enjoying it.
That is such a contrast and difference. I remember
Yeah,
when you were
cool.
moving. That was so exciting.
Yeah, like, but yeah, the downside, you get wild animals. Like we have bear attacks. Like, so I can't really go out and like run anymore. But uh, I mean, I probably they would not do anything to me because like I'm in tune with nature and all that. But
Right,
I wouldn't risk it because yeah,
right. What's the point?
yeah. It was like very strange. Like we go out when we're like at least like 5 or 10 people. Like we go on a walk and like we walked past the up the hill past the cemetery. There's like a little natural stream. There are a lot of streams here because we're up in the mountains, and there's always mud around that specific area. And like we passed through the mud, we went on like a half an hour walk, and when we came back, there were like fresh, huge bear tracks in the mud where we passed through there like 20 minutes ago. So we like just passed through that area a few
Oh,
minutes before we got there.
oh my goodness. Do
Yeah, so
bells or
like
anything help for the bears around there? I don't know what kind of
I
bears.
don't think they care. Like they
No.
don't care anymore. No.
Well, if they're walking around in deep civilization, like in the towns and stuff,
Like
then
they're
they're not
used to it now, so they don't
gonna,
care. Like we have security recordings of like 5 of them like hanging out in the streets during the night or some stuff like that. So you better be home by night.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we had a lot of bear stuff going on too. I can definitely say that, and this is a good point too. Grounding pads are great if you can't get outside. Another one that's really helpful that I found when I was living in places where, I mean, you would have 4 months of the year where the ground was frozen or more, like bring dirt in the house. I'm somebody who always has been a gardener of some kind. Not, I say always when I started to be a gardener when I allowed myself to, I guess, because there was the first, decade or so of my life, that a couple decades of my life where I seemed to just often like kill plants. I didn't mean to, but it was really sad. It's different now. Anyway, so I always tend to have a bucket of dirt that you can just drag in. Usually there's snow and ice on there, but just bring it in. And once it totally thaws, start playing with it. Start playing with it with your hands, put your feet in it. You don't need to dig your feet down into it. There's a thing that we need to do called the ionization process. It's also known as earthing, the word earth, ing, right? You can look it up. And there's a lot of things that are involved in it, but for the most part, they'll tell us to go outside to do it. If you can't go outside, you can bring it inside. That's another way to do it. I know that where I lived too, there was a lot of concrete, and even though there was trees and stuff in neighboring areas, where I lived, it was more just a concrete slab. I did find use in grounding on this concrete. It still worked, just not nearly as well perhaps as being on the actual ground itself. So perhaps try that. And go ahead.
Yeah, I really like the Chaos 101. Nature is the future, or
Yeah.
is our future. Yeah, exactly.
I also saw what Brooke said in the audience today, and I'm really sorry to hear that about your dad. I just wanted to say that that's a very difficult thing to go through. A lot of people are leaving right now. It seems like a lot of people are passing, and it feels like a passing, a change of the guard, almost. My heart and prayers go out to you and your family, Brooke, and to anyone experiencing this right now. I didn't mean to go. I didn't want to ignore her comment. Um, and then here's a good one. On one of my nature walks, I got chased by a little dog. Uh, closest thing to an attack I ever had. He saw me from like a quarter mile away, I swear, and he didn't stop chasing me. I wanted to bring this up because that's the other part about nature is the critters of the forests. Like of your neighborhood or of nature itself. These animals, are you noticing? These animals are becoming more present than ever before. They're engaging with us more. And so like there's a concern about nature coming and interacting with us. And at the same time, there's this understanding that they're coming to you because you've raised your frequency up enough to meet their frequency, right?
Like a funny thing about what Joy to share. I'm not sure. Was that her name? Yeah,
Whose
like
name?
what you shared is that usually when we go on a hike or some kind of trail up in the mountains, like a pack of dogs start to accumulate around us. I know, like we just attract dogs for some reason. Like four or sometimes even five stray dogs just hang around with us for like kilometers. So
Wow.
it's like it's usually because probably they want to treats or something, or I don't know.
Right. I have the same thing. And then with cats too. Like cats don't typically go on a walk with you like dogs do. Like, and I remember showing you that before when we were in Washington also, Guardian and I talking, but like they don't walk along with you like dogs do, cats. They're quite a bit farther away, but they're in a whole row and they just follow you where you go. And it's like, at first it's like, my head flashes to like Twilight Zone movies and stuff where there's like something scary gonna happen, but it's actually really cool that they're able to acknowledge, to notice your energy, your frequency, and they're drawn to you. Like the Disney princesses in the forests. You know?
The difference is we can't sing, so we have problems with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I can't sing. I do. I do sing. I just not very good at
Because
it.
oh, okay. On that level, we can sing too.
Yeah. Um, and so I guess I know we're probably going to close up in a second because we're getting close to really late for you over there in Transylvania. Ha! That's so fun. I love it when we're able to receive
Yeah.
messages that way. Um, in parting, is there something that, like, because there's a lot of people, Guardian, right now talking, having sent messages to me recently and just kind of reaching out that are noticing they're struggling more right now lately than they usually do. And so is there a parting message that you'd like to give to people who are struggling right now, noticing they're having more ascension symptoms, more sadness, disruption kind of energies? Like, what would you suggest they do?
Yeah, like just my eyes like hit these notes that I took a few days ago. So I'm just going to read that. Also, in general, like do transmutational meditations, like they really help like alleviate the unpleasant things that come with huge transformations. But just in general, like the notes that I took is like stop resisting the path that you are on and faith over fear. So have faith in the process that you're going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's difficult, like I'm working on that too, but like it really helps,
Yeah.
especially if like you're on a new path and you don't know what to expect after the next turn because you can't see where the road is going. But yeah, like
Yeah.
faith over fear.
I love that. I love that. And we mentioned earlier that there's 365 times just in the Bible itself saying not to fear, and the opposite of fear is faith. And you know what? That this is one of the most commonly mentioned messages that I get over and over again to say to others, is that when we operate in lack of belief, even the smallest increment of it, it's tapping the brake of spirit. Like it's slowing the process down. It's
Mhm.
not slamming on the brakes usually, but yeah, it's
Or it's
slowing.
resistance. Yeah.
Right. And so the transmutation meditations he's talking about, by the way, that's the violet flame meditations we were referring to earlier. I'm going to go back after we're done with our live here and add to the comments in the YouTube video on my channel, because a lot of people probably already see the ones from your side. Is that if there's I'm going to post your transmutation meditation in the comments so people can find it better.
Cool. Okay.
Is there one in particular that you would suggest? Because you did, like you said, a marathon of them for a little bit there.
Yeah, like just go to the live events section or the events, or what is called live
Yeah.
tab in the channel. I think that's how it's called right now. Like, and see which one resonates. Like, I would recommend our Christmas Golden Light meditation. It's very nice. It's very cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, like I have several violet flame meditations. Like, check those out. It doesn't matter which one. Like as you said, it's timeless. So it doesn't matter when it was recorded.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Pardon me. Well, we'll share that in the comments. And for those of you wondering, yes, we are doing a Zoom meeting later today, starting in roughly 3 hours from now. The Zoom meeting is free. You're welcome to join without your camera and without your voice if you'd like. Though anyone who does want to come in, you don't feel pressured. You're welcome to join us. It's a fun conversation. It's kind of a conversation like this with a bunch of different people from a variety of walks of life, and it's just a great place that you can be safe and supported, and you can use your throat chakra and help work on the flow of that. So I hope to see you all there. You can find the link for that in the post or the community section of this YouTube channel, as well as in our Telegram group. Guardian, thank you so much for this fun conversation. You're amazing.
Yeah, it was the first one this year. So let's do
Ooh,
one in February as well.
I feel honored. I always am honored meeting with you. So
I'm very happy to be here. So
thank you. And you guys can look forward to finding out when we're going to do that Zoom meeting with Guardian at some point in the future, where he'll channel his guides and answer questions. It's such a cool interaction that we get to have with that. So I'll let everybody know, and I'll keep you all posted. So thank you once again. I'm sending you all so much love. Aho blessings.